Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for entering my lady cave where we believe self-care is more. Today we are going to be talking about being happy. So self-care is allowing yourself to be happy. And so I'm going to talk about 3 things that we may be doing wrong, and then I'm going to go into 4 things that we may want to consider when we are looking for a sense of happiness. So, you guys, stay tuned, get comfortable, get you something to eat, and let's have this discussion. Let's get straight to this video. All right, so we are going to start with the things that we may be doing wrong. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1. Number 1 is living in the past. Living in the past. So let me elaborate on that. We find ourselves, when we are unhappy, we find ourselves kind of reminiscing, which reminiscing is okay. It's good, actually, just to kind of see where we came from and where we are today. However, living in the past is trying to find what we once felt back in the day, to try to find the things that we were doing back in the day, to try to find that same happiness that we felt back in the day. We tend to kind of go and revisit the past and say, those are the good old days. I wish it was still like that. And that's where we are going wrong. I believe that we are here now for a reason. And the things that we've experienced and the things that we've gone through in our past was for a reason, and it was for a season. So the things that we went through back then and the experiences that we had and the feelings and emotions that we had back then are going to be different from the ones that we have today. Because we have changed. Change is good. Change can be bad too. But I believe overall change is good because it helps us to learn in life. The experiences that we go through in our past helps us to be the person that we are today. So the things that we experienced back then taught us something in our today, in our daily lives, in the here and now. So for us to want to go back to that point, that's kind of like us erasing the things that we've already learned to get back to that emotion that we felt back then. Because if that same thing happened now, you're probably going to feel a different kind of emotion. Or you probably feel a different way, or it may affect you in a different way. I'm not saying that it's going to be bad. However, the things that we once went through, the things that we once felt for different situations are going to be different. We are a different person now, in today, in the here and now. So now we have to find what that is now. And we have to take life for what it is. And we have progressed to who we are now. So now we have to find who that person is now. It's a continual, gradual kind of thing. That's what happiness is. It's continual and it's gradual, and you have to continue to revisit. So going into the past, it's not going to help us at all. However, reminiscing sometimes is a good thing. And also going into the past, we can't get time back. No one can give you a second back from your past. So there's no way you can get back there. So you're just chasing something that you can never get. You can't get back to that time. You can't get back to that point. So let me give you an example. I just want to elaborate on this real quick because I don't want you to get it confused. So let's say you were in a point, you're in a relationship, and you were in a point back in the day where that relationship was so good. And of course, relationships start off so good. And you were so happy and so filled. And then as the relationship goes on, you get to know each other, right? You get into this groove of getting to know each other, getting to know what you don't like about somebody or what annoys you about someone and what you actually love about them. And so then when it starts to clash a little bit, because that's what relationships do. Relationships tend to have issues. We start to revisit, like, man, I wish it was back in the day like how it was. Back in the day, we didn't have no problems. And back in the day, you didn't have any problems. That's fine. However, that was the beginning stage of the relationship. Meaning, you're not still in that stage. You are in a different stage of relationship. So you're learning different things. So if you were to go back to that stage, you wouldn't have learned all these wonderful things about your mate. You wouldn't have learned the things that annoy you and the things that you love about this person. You wouldn't have learned those things. So how can you progress if you haven't been through the things that you should go through in a relationship? Now, yes, if you are having problems with a relationship, you want to get back to a happy place, but that happy place is going to be different from your past. That's all I'm saying. So that was just a quick example. Let's get straight to number 2. Living someone else's life. This is obvious. We say it all the time. However, we probably don't practice it all the time. We tend to see how someone else is living, and we tend to see how happy they are. And we get lost in that, and we get to a point where, ooh, I want that. Like, that's the kind of love I want, or that's the kind of life that I want. I just want to be happy and smile and, be loved and all of this and that. And that's all well and fine. I believe everybody wants a sense of happiness in life. However, everybody's life is different. You can't live someone else's life. You can't live by what they do in life to try to find your own happiness, because that person has their own background, their own past, their own life experiences, their own things that they have been through to get to the point where they are. Or that person may not have gotten to the point where they need to be and is living in this place in their life where they're in a happy space. It's not your life. It's not your path. And so trying to live someone else's life is only going to lead us into destruction and unhappiness, because that's not our life. It's not our obstacles. It's not our barriers. It's not our experiences. It's not our learning experiences. So we're not going to succeed at living someone else's life because we don't walk in their shoes. So I think that is something that we are doing wrong, and that we get caught into sometimes, of wanting something that someone else has, wanting a life that someone else has. And I'm not saying like you can't want something that someone else has. Like you get friends, you get people around you, and they may get a hairstyle, and you be like, "Oh, girl, I'm gonna get that hairstyle." Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm saying actually living someone else's life and trying to get that emotion that they're feeling at the time. That's their life. That's their moment. That's their time to get that. Be happy for them. And then focus on your own happiness and what makes you happy. You guys, like I said, your experiences are different. You're going to go through different things. You're going to come from all different walks of life. So your happiness is going to be different. What makes you happy is going to be different. Okay. So let's get into number 3. Depending on someone or something. This is something that I believe we all get caught into. Okay. Depending on someone to make you happy. So you're in a relationship. It don't matter. That can be any relationship. It doesn't just have to be your mate. It can be your mother. It can be your father. It can be your friend. It can be your cousin. It can be your auntie, whoever. We get in a space where we're like, I just, want you to do this, or I expect this from you. And if you were to be like this, then I will be happy. Honey, no. You can't. First of all, it's unfair and it's selfish to place certain expectations on other people. I'm gonna say certain. And you can't expect people to do something that you want them to do. Everybody's different. Everybody sees things differently. Yes, you can make that decision to either have someone in your life or not, but you have to make that decision. You can't change people. You can't make people do something for you. You can't make people have something for you. You can't make people be happy for you. You can't allow people to come and change your mood. Like, you can't put that responsibility on someone else. That's selfish. That's selfish. Yes, people in your life contribute to your happiness, but you can't expect them to make you happy. It's not going to happen. People are different. First of all, they're trying to be happy. So how can you expect them to try to make themselves happy and make you happy? No. Happiness has to come naturally when it comes to being with someone or being in a relationship with someone. You have a friend. If that friend makes you happy, it shouldn't be because she's forcing herself to make you happy. It shouldn't be because you're putting expectations on her. It should be because it comes natural. You guys are friends for a reason, right? You love that person for a reason. You guys are bonding and connecting and vibing out for a reason. So because of that, that should make you happy. Because of who that person is should make you happy. Because of the things that you guys do should make you happy. Not because of what that person does for you. Okay? So I hope you really understand what I'm saying. I hope I'm not going all over the place. I hope I'm right on point. However, you can't depend on someone to make you happy. I said someone or something. So let's get into the something. Money. We think money is going to make us happy. Money's not going to make us happy. It is proven. There are people all over the world who have the most money in the world and still experience unhappiness. We have people that are the richest in the world that are very unhappy. We have people who have so much money and who has committed suicide because of they're depressed or they're miserable or something going on that they can't handle in their life and they're not happy. So it's proven. So we got to stop chasing the money and start chasing the things that are valuable to our lives. If we chase those things, then all that stuff will come. Yes, we all need money to survive. It is what it is. We got to have the money to survive. That's just the world that we're living in. However, chasing it and feeling that we need that to determine our happiness, the things, houses, cars, clothes, shoes, we think all those things is going to make us happy. Honey, it's not. So if that's what you're chasing in life and that's what your life is about and you think that that's going to give you the happiness in your life, go ahead and do your thing. But I'm telling you right now, that's one of the wrong things that we're doing. That's one of the wrong things that we are doing is chasing things in life. The things don't matter, honey, because when you leave this world, those things are still going to be here, and they're not going to be yours. So you have to find the values of life that you want to chase. Okay? So enough about the things that we're doing wrong. I tend to do that first because I don't like to talk about those things. However, it's necessary to talk about them in order to get to the right things to do. Okay? So 4 right things that we may want to consider when it comes to happiness.